Episode 17, part 2 of Kenya's premier video podcast, the Three Quarters podcast. Today we are shooting from Vineyard on Raptor Road. They've been courteous enough to give us some time to shoot our episode 17. It is also wise to note that this is the last episode of the regular season of Kenya Cup, and it is also prudent to note that we have been to the home of every Kenya Cup team apart from Western Bulls, and that was as a result of fixtures being changed. That's why we were unable to be there at their home ground, but we visited every Kenya Cup club at their home. This is Ngashi, official noisemaker,
Jerry Goose, Kenyana.
And it's also that time where we tell you guys about the Road to Japan hashtag that we've created. The Kenya Simbas are about to start their World Cup qualifiers in June as they take on 5 nations, starting with Uganda, and then Senegal, and then Tunisia, and then Zimbabwe and Namibia away. And of course they start the qualifiers. What precedes the qualifiers will be a test match against Japan at home. Germany, I beg your pardon. Germany at home, not Japan. We therefore urge you guys to support the boys. Jump onto the Road to Japan hashtag, because we do believe that these boys require and they need and they've earned the sport to be in Japan in 2019. On to part 2, and our first topic, of course, is Badman of the Week. Goose, was your Badman of the Week?
Badman of the Week. Our match game a match of the week.
Yes,
was KCB against versus Momba.
Yes.
My man, Badman.
Yes.
Is one James Kilonzo.
Yes.
First center KCB.
Yes.
The guy was his attack.
Yes.
Him attacking the line was really almost perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ball running was really quite good.
Mm-hmm.
You could see a couple of times when he had the ball, he had possession. He'd commit like two or three guys.
Yes.
Offload it to his brother.
Yeah,
I think there's
his
some
center
chemistry
partnership.
Peter
Kilonzo.
offloading to that. And you can imagine this is against one of the best backlines.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Kenya Cup.
Yes.
The likes of Lavin over there.
Yes.
That guy's a maestro.
Yes.
The fly half position.
Yeah.
He gave him a hard time. He's stepping up.
Yes.
His defense. It was quite.
His defense was actually good on the day.
Point. Yeah.
And as you're saying, just to add on to what you're saying, his running lines were excellent. He has some sort of chemistry with Ken Mosetti at number 10, who's also another person who plays every position.
As they said once.
Yeah.
That's the fastest way to bench.
Yes, that's the fastest way to bench. But Mosetti has been playing now 10 years in Cup Rugby. So anyway, Mosetti and James Kilonzo at number 10, his running lines were very excellent, and I do actually second you. I think he was a bad man of the week in the game yesterday. Rugby 101, which is our next topic, where we always try to educate our viewers about the game of rugby in Kenya and in general, whether it's the rules, whether it's the lingo, whether it's everything, the structure of the game. We like to demystify so that we can get more fans into the game. So today we just want to educate people about the Kenyan rugby and the various tiers.
The setup.
Exactly, the setup.
Yeah.
So there are three tiers. Of course, Kenya Cup is tier 1 rugby. That's where the best clubs in the country play. Consist of 12 teams. Then we have the other 2 tiers being split into the championship, which is right after the Kenya Cup, and the nationwide, which is the 3rd tier.
Then there's like a loose ESS somewhere.
ESS is now like team 2 of Kenya Cup, where they play Eric Shirley Shield, ESS. So what normally happens is that the top 2 teams, let's say in the nationwide being tier 3, the top 2 teams qualify to the championship.
Yes.
The bottom 2 teams in the championship get relegated to the nationwide. Nationwide being, of course, the last tier. Whoever finishes last, you don't get relegated. You still stick in the nationwide. Same goes for Kenya Cup. The first 2 people in the championship qualify for Kenya Cup, and the last 2 in the Kenya Cup get relegated to the championship. So as you speak right now, it's Western Bulls and Machine who've been relegated to the championship. And you're briefing me earlier on championship. Who's qualified?
The guys coming into the Kenya Cup would be Kisii RFC and the Catholic Monks. It's a university side of the Catholic University.
Which is actually very good that you have one university side replacing another university side. Which, of course, brings us up to the next discussion. And it's been an ongoing discussion, of course, because of the elections having taken part last week. You have teams now like Kisii RFC coming into play. These guys don't have any financial backing. It's more of well-wishers out of pocket.
It's like they make as they go.
They make as exactly. How confident are you about them being able to honor their away matches, which would mean traveling to Nairobi or Nakuru for that matter?
That's gonna be really, really tough for them.
Yeah,
it's gonna strain them a lot.
Yes,
because I think the few times that they might be able, a lot of the players may be going out of their own pocket to come down at these matches.
Yes,
but I'd like for these officials that have just checked in recently. I think if they could, or rather they should actually try and facilitate all these teams that can't, the teams that don't have this financial backing from big corporates. Let's say, as an example, let's say Sport Pesa is sponsoring Queens. Kisii RFC has no sponsor. Can the union pick it up and make sure that these guys honor fixtures? They're well taken care of. Don't come and give them accommodation in some school over here. Pay a nice hotel. Give them some nice transport as well. Food and the works. And then I think it will attract. It can even attract more sponsors.
Exactly,
as well.
It does.
For them.
For me, it's a case of having the union run like a business. Sports has become commercial because it's entertainment. And even me, if I'm an actor, if I go act, yes, I want to entertain people, but I have to get paid. Right?
At the end of the day.
It's going to generate money. Guys go to watch these movies. Sports is entertainment, but it's also a business. It's time for the union to start running like a business. Right? Unofficially, it takes about 20 million to run a big club. The Queens, 20 million cash
a season.
Queens, Impalas. It takes you about that much to run these big clubs. Kisii is not very demanding. I'm sure they don't have top-notch grounds that need to be watered and all that every week. But these guys need to honor their fixtures. Therefore, my call to the union would be what we've always said. You need to start running it like a business. We need to stop depending on sponsorship
and all that.
There are so many ways to make money from sports, whether it's gate charges, whether it's revenue from gate charges, whether it's TV rights, whether it's there's a lot of merchandising.
And allocate this money that you get into this.
Exactly. We finished above number 25 last year in the Kenya Simbas, that is. We were number 25.
World Rugby.
Exactly. That entitles the Kenya Rugby Union to 200,000 euros a year, which is close to 20 million shillings. There was a story that ran just before the election about misappropriation of funds, because these are funds that are supposed to be used to run the game. It's supposed to be. It's, for example, let me give you an example of how the sports that we know. Let's take the Premier League. You're given X billion pounds from TV rights and Barclays or whoever the sponsor is. It's prorated according to your positions. That's how it should be here, right? And it's time that the union starts thinking about some of these issues. In all honesty, we are, for Kenya and the economy that it is right now, we are way behind. Tuko sana in terms of sports.
We're lagging.
We are lagging, and it's time for officials to start thinking about this thing as a business. I was shocked at the number of the big cars that were at the elections.
It's people have money.
Yet it's not trickling down to the clubs. But anyway, congratulations to Kisii RFC and Catholic monks. You can be sure Kisii, we will be coming there to watch you guys play.
Most definitely.
In the Kenya Cup. So congratulations to you guys. It's by bus. Kenya Simbas, they're in camp now.
Just started recently.
Yes.
And you wonder, where have they been all this time?
Yes.
Why didn't the camp start a bit earlier?
Yes.
Because now we're a month away into starting the international matches. And when was it, like a couple of weeks ago? That's when the camp got into camp.
Yes, that's when the team was named.
That's when the team was named, actually. Just before the elections.
Yes.
And then as well as now the training is on Monday.
Yes.
First of all, most of these players, they have work.
Yes, Monday and Wednesday.
I believe they have work. Now it's
Monday and Wednesday.
And Wednesday.
Yes.
These are guys who have work. Let's say a player who's in Camp Plus, let's say, and works in Western.
Yes.
This guy's from playing a Kenya Cup match on Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday, of course, he's trying to recover and all that. Monday, there's work.
Yes.
And then you're telling him to come to Nairobi.
Yes. To play. Yes.
Come.
Yes.
To come into the camp.
Yes.
To have some tizi kidogo.
Yes.
So it's a bit I think we are very late into going to camp.
Rumor has it that Namibia and Zimbabwe were in camp last year.
And why is that? They knew how we did it last time.
Last year, yes.
When you were out,
yes.
We went to camp a bit early.
We went to camp. These boys were in South Africa. They were in Cape Town for 3-4 months.
The Curry.
Vodacom Cup. 3-4 months they were in camp, training up for this. And you see, it's very sad because as at the time we were playing Hong Kong, which was our last game last year, the mood was very upbeat amongst the fans, amongst the players. We were very upbeat about this quest this year against Japan. It is not the same.
Are you feeling it now?
Sorry, the quest to get to Japan. I am not feeling that right now.
I'm not feeling it as well.
I am not feeling that. Nowhere. I can tell you players are not feeling it. To the players that I've talked to. So something needs to work. People need to clean their house.
And it needs to be fixed.
And it needs to be fixed immediately, ASAP.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in all honesty, and it's going to irk some people again, this Japan story you're vibing is a rumor. It's a rumor. But anyway, we just have to wait and see how these guys are going to shape up. Hong Kong Sevens coming up 7th to 9th of April. Just which pool is Kenya in?
Kenya, we've been pulled with Canada, South Africa, and France. Games will be starting successfully.
Yes.
Against Canada, we'll be playing at 3:15.
Yes.
On Friday.
Yes.
Then South Africa will be Saturday in the morning, early morning.
Yes.
Then we'll be facing France midday.
Yes.
I can only hope that. I think this pool is a bit easier compared to what we had in Las Vegas and Canada, in Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to think that we'll get to the quarters at least.
Yes.
Probably the semis if we get a favorable draw.
I just you remember when we had our episode 16 where we had Kenya 15 scrum off and Cabra scrum off, Edwin Achaya K9 and he said that you always feel like we can do much better when you see some of these games. I can only hope that these boys that the boys are going to, and you can always tell it's trickled down. That's what we kept on saying. The reason why Black Blood are playing well in the Kenya Cup is because of trickle down. How the institution is run gets down to the smallest of persons. So if you want sevens to also up the game, it's not all about 15s. Again, we go back to our usual call. The union needs to get its house in order. That's all we need for this case. Innocent Simiyu is a brilliant rugby mind. And he can give us the results.
He was an excellent player.
Exactly.
You can see he's managing the team quite well.
And he can give us the results that we deserve. We need to get our house in order. Key stakeholders in this game, that is the players and the fans, need to be appreciated. So if that happens, it's going to be no-brainers. We'll be knowing the main cup quarters.
Thinking about this qualifying for quarters.
Remember, like
we talk about semis.
Remember 3-4 years ago, it had got to a point where us guys were like, main cup quarters, done deal.
We know. That time Friday was still
the coach, and it's because
we were spoiled kids.
Exactly, we were spoiled kids, and it's because the union was being run. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I'll take you through the Super Rugby results quite quick. We had the Canterbury Crusaders of the BZN Crusaders taking on the Western Force. They beat them 45-17. The Rebels lost to the Waratahs 25-32. The Auckland Blues beat the Blue Bulls 38-14. The Brumbies lost to the Highlanders in a nail-biting game 13-18. We had the Sunwolves lose to the Stormers, albeit close, 31-44 for the Sunwolves. We had the Kings lose heavily to the Lions, 19-42. We had the Cheetahs narrow loss to the Sharks, 30-38. And of course, the Jaguares or the Jaguars beating the Queensland Reds in Argentina 22-8. As always, we tell you that we have our fantasy app.
Yes.
We have our fantasy league app. The code is running at the bottom of your screen together with the URL. Therefore, please make a point of joining, and let's see how good guys are in this management business. This has been episode 17, part 2 of the 3 Quarters podcast. As always, we ask you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like our Facebook page, and to follow us on Instagram. This is Gash, your official noisemaker,
Jeringus Kenyana,
and stay tuned for part 3.